Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's Training Industry Learning Tech Showcase on Learning Management Systems, sponsored by Adobe Digital Chalk, ELB Learning, and ExpertusONE, and Litmos. I'm Emma, a marketing associate here at Training Industry, and I'm so excited to have you here with us today. Before we get started, I just have a few things to go over to help you get the most out of today's session. Throughout today's event, please feel free to use the chat for comments and submit all of your questions in the Q&A panel. All of your questions will be addressed during the event or at the end of the program during the Q&A section. Once the session ends, a brief survey will appear in your browser, so please take a moment to share feedback on the session and the speaker. And as always, all of our sessions will be recorded and archived on trainingindustry.com, and you as an attendee will receive a follow-up email from us with a link to the on-demand sessions. If this is your first Training Industry event, we'd like to welcome you. Training Industry exists to make connections among learning and development professionals. We offer tons of resources to support your role in L&D through live events like today's showcase, as well as through articles on our website, our magazine, conferences, research reports, our podcast, and more. We would also really love to hear about what you've learned from today's session on social media, so please follow us on your favorite platform so we can continue the conversation. And now, without any further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our speakers. Today, we have Greg Bashar, who is a Senior Learning Advisor at ExpertusONE, and Ferik Ferizaj, Solutions Consulting Leader at ExpertusONE as well. Thank you both for being here. It's a pleasure.
Great. Thanks, Emma. How are you?
Doing well.
Thank you.
So much for joining us.
Great. So, hey, everyone. Ferik, if you go ahead and share your screen there, share the slide deck. Hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Greg Bashar. I'm the Senior Learning Advisor at ExpertusONE. I have with me Ferik Ferizaj, our Solution Consulting Lead, as Emma mentioned. Together, we have over 35 years of experience in the learning technology industry. We like to say that we've seen it all in this space over the years, but we continue to get proven wrong by forward-thinking organizations who continue to push the boundaries of the technology and disrupt what LMS vendors are doing, on a daily basis. So, Ferik, go ahead, switch to next slide. So, all right.
Do you see my screen?
Yeah,
You're good.
Sorry, Ferik. What we wanted to focus on today is what we're seeing as the biggest challenge in the market today. Especially with enterprise clients, it seems more and more common that enterprise customers need to have multiple platforms to satisfy the various business requirements of the different groups within their enterprise. Whether it's an LMS for organization mandated training, an LXP for user-centric career development, or a skills platform to decipher the talent levels in your organization. Having disparate systems tends to cause the following, right? Lack of visibility into the full L&D picture, a drain on administrative resources, and most importantly for most organizations is the higher total cost of ownership. We'll talk about this and how ExpertusONE solves these issues. But first, one of our panelists is going to be adding a question to the chat. If you guys can provide a quick answer, that would be great. Go to the next slide, Ferik. So the solution to the problem I just laid out is ExpertusONE's all-in-one solution, right? Modern platform that combines a state-of-the-art LMS, an LXP, and a skills platform. All of these tools are built in-house from the ground up and use the same code base, the same database, the same administration platform, and most importantly, the same user experience. What we're seeing is that many LMS systems either have partnered with or acquired an LXP or a skills platform that you must bolt onto the LMS system, making more for a disjointed experience for not only your learners, but also your administrators. A singular all-in-one platform like ExpertusONE provides efficiencies like the portability of content, a single source of truth and reporting, consistent experiences for learners as well as administrators, and the overall management of a single platform and vendor relationships. This combination of tools gives you everything you need to manage the learning process from mandatory compliance to elective career development training, while giving the organization a deep view into the talent and the skills that they have within the enterprise on a common, easy-to-use platform. With all that said, we take it even another step further. With our data and course segmentation capabilities, we can also address your external training needs within the same instance of the platform without compromising any of your proprietary data or content. Again, this allows the same L&D professionals to manage internal and external training from the same console without having to manage the training in multiple places using multiple platforms. So before we move forward, we have another quick question in the chat window. We'd appreciate a quick response through there. Quick response there as well for that next question. And Ferik, you can go ahead and move on to the next slide. So before getting into the demo, we wanted to give you just a quick sample of the types of enterprise organizations that we're currently working with to help solve their complex learning challenges. This isn't a comprehensive list of all of our customer base, but just a sample of the clients that we've assisted in the recent past in consolidating systems for either internal or external training, and in some cases, even a combination of the two, both internal and external. So with that, Ferik, if you want to go to the next, slide? With that, I'll hand it over to Ferik to walk you through a brief demo of how we're helping these organizations. And by the way, as I mentioned, Ferik has been in this industry for more than 16 years, working in many different roles in the industry. So he has seen firsthand how a unified system can help organizations streamline their technology. And before he starts, we do have one last question in the chat as well. So Ferik, you can go ahead and take it away when you're ready.
All right. Thanks, Greg, and hi, everyone. Yeah, my name is Ferik Ferizaj. I'm a solution consulting lead here at ExpertusONE, and I've been in the industry for about 15 years. Worked with a lot of large enterprises all over the world, in the country, et cetera. And one of the key challenges I've seen is, the need always for very complex enterprises to use different platforms for different business use cases, right? We got of course, compliance and mandatory training traditionally served up by platforms, LMS learning platforms. We got, use cases where we want to offer employees career paths and skills and upskilling and reskilling. Usually a lot of organizations go and search for a vendor that actually specializes on that separate vendor. And then, of course, partners and training. There's kind of organizations that specialize in that. So you're very complex to manage all of these different kind of platforms when, very frequently we're talking about the same content. So you have to replicate that content, manage it. You don't have data visibility and all of that. So ExpertusONE set up with the goal of solving this problem, right? Build a zero compromise platform that meets all of these challenges, right? Handle compliance and mandatory training easily, and then also offer that LXP experience, right? Offer employees career paths and ability to upskill themselves and reskill, etc. On top of that, very frequently organizations are training customers and partners, and now they have to replicate a lot of administrative work and all of that. So that's very challenging, makes it very hard for organization to have visibility into what's happening. So I'm going to take you through the journey of kind of what ExpertusONE been able to do, bringing all of these different concepts, different business use cases into a single code platform that delivers across all of these different use cases with ease. So first, I wanted to kick things off with this use case, right? Like I'm an employee type compliance type training. I'm Robert Miller, and I was just hired, and I need to complete some mandatory training, right? So we have the ability to, make these experiences configurable, etc. But I can come up here and very easily, with a couple of clicks, see what requires, my attention, right? So this is all training that I need to do. It's compliance, it's mandatory, it's part of my kind of onboarding process, etc. I can come up here under alerts, take a look at that, launch it, what requires my attention, or browse kind of the catalog here in a very easy way, right? So here's all the training that I need to do. There's some learning paths as well. There's compliance, there's due dates, and I can come up and take care of that with a single click, right? So whether it be SCORM training or video learning or whatever the case may be, I have the ability to come up here and complete it very efficiently without having to click around and search around, etc., all front and center. I have, I can come up here and browse the catalog, search the catalog, but any training that's been pushed out to me from the organization It's front and center, and I'm easily able to complete that. Now, the second use case here that we're talking about, what about other opportunities that we want to offer our employees? That LXP experience, right? We want to empower them to go and earn new skills. We want to, provide different career paths, etc. So typically, we're directing them to another platform that's kind of more specialized for that type of use case. So ExpertusONE brought that into the same platform, same code, and really the same page. Just a little scroll here below, and I am into the whole catalog that's been made available to me for upskilling myself and reskilling and searching any kind of new skills I want to earn. So a couple of different ways to present that to the learner. Again, first of all, it's the same page. But you can do kind of more of a Netflix type approach where the system is going to bucket different training here. Hey, what's the most recent training from our organization, most popular, most shared, micro learning. Sometimes employees are more, they prefer maybe small videos. I can browse that category, right? So that's one approach. I can come up here and search for various categories and skills and all of that. The other approach when it comes to kind of the LXP experience is more of a kind of recommendation driven. We don't want, just to serve up 1,000 courses to our employees. We want to distill that list to a more meaningful and more applicable list of perhaps, tens of or hundreds courses or less. And even within that, there's several different options. So ExpertusONE, highly configurable, it offers, organization a lot of options to kind of serve up the content. One of them is AI. So AI is, this platform is powered by AI, infused with AI in a very meaningful way. So we can let the AI make that choice for the employees. It's going to look at who they are, what they're doing, what's their title, what's the last list, of training they have completed. And then they can come up here and just browse that category. Tends to be more meaningful because it's relevant to their job. And then they're more likely to take up, and they can come up here and put into the wish list and enroll into it and all of that. We also have some other ways to present that. A company itself can make recommendation, more of a kind of guided approach, right? So this is stuff that he doesn't have to do, but it's being recommended to do. Maybe it's adjacent to his role, etc. So again, offering employees some opportunities to pursue different career paths, etc. Maybe what's the next level up? We want to offer all of our employees at least one path that they should be kind of working on. Leaders and managers can also be involved in the process. I'm managing my team. I see them every day. I see the skills they have, skills they don't have, and I can push recommendation to it. So a lot of different ways kind of to close this whole loop of, optional training, career pathing, upskilling, reskilling, right? So lots of different ways to present that to the learner. So that's kind of the second use case, right? And then, of course, we also have kind of more of a company guided career path. So here's another kind of option. It's all kind of modular, configurable, etc. So if you turn that feature on, the career path, it's more a prescriptive career, right? We're putting the whole path together for Robert versus him going out there and searching for courses or topics or skills, etc. We actually going to put a path for it based on his role, etc. So here he's looking at his current career path in terms of the skills and what he needs to do and what he's done already. So that's fine. That's against his current career. But then we also give him the opportunity to come up here and perhaps he's interested in going out there and search, applying for the senior sales executive role, manager role, whatever the case may be. So before applying or right after applying, he can come up here and search for that role. Yeah, I want to apply for this role, senior executive role. I want to know, what does it take for me from a training perspective to perform that role. So he can come up here and the system, because this is kind of a guided career path, a corporate kind of driven career path, a learning journey, he can come up here and register. So there's various training, learning paths, programs, certifications that have been packaged together for him for this specific role, right? And he can go ahead and enroll into that and prepare and complete that training. before after applying for a job or before applying for a job. Similarly, we still have the ability to come up here and say, maybe I want to earn a specific skill. You can search for that. So far, we brought in, compliance and mandatory training into one page, optional type upskilling, reskilling that we're letting the employee themselves go and search kind of what skills they want to go and earn. And then the other option is more of a corporate driven career pathing, right? So this is the path that, that works for sales executive. The next role is the senior sales executive. And so we're giving him the opportunity to come up here and take care of that. Same platform, same code, same page. And then of course, then we have, all the data from a corporate perspective to come up here and see, what is our skill, bench strength look like, right? So leaders have access to skill dashboards like this, where they can come up here and say, hey, drill down into all of this. So again, we're marrying, careers to employees, to job roles, to training, and then we're able to produce skill dashboards like this that empowers leaders to get visibility into everything that's happening organization wide, right? So we have the ability to look at the bell curve. Maybe we want to drill it down into how we're doing organization wide from the skill perspective, right? So I can come up here and drill down into organization. I can come up here, drill down into departments, job roles, managers. Perhaps I want to see, show me organizations that have met 10% of their skills. And so I can come up here and see that. I'm able to drill down, all the way down to the employee level, right? So to the individual, to the individual employee, okay, here's kind of the skills they have, here's the skills they don't have, right? So all of that data into a single platform, single reporting database. Now you have visibility across all of the training, across all of the content. Now, the last use case that I want to talk about is customer and partner training. That's very important. Usually when we're talking about this, a lot of organizations, they're going to go out there and search for a very specialized vendor that that supports this type of setup. So ExpertusONE, build that in from the ground up, not an add-on. By the way, there's no add-ons anywhere here. No, like, we purchase LXP or anything like that. It's all in the single platform, single code, single reporting. So now if I come up here and I want to, I'm a customer, I want to purchase some training. I want to sign up for training that organization has created for me. We can create a different, portal for them, different entry point, etc. But you'll note here, there's some, I can query the catalog publicly, like customers and partners before registering. Perhaps they can come up here and say, hey, does this organization offer this type of training? They can see, oh, this course costs $350. I can read more about the course, before signing up, before registering, etc. So, and, sign up if you want, or if you already have an account, you can just go ahead and log in now. Let's go ahead and log in. All right, so I'm logged in now as a partner, as a customer, same exact platform in the back end. So we didn't log in somewhere else. So the beauty of this is same content is being used, is being reused. So that you don't have to train administrators across different system, implement it and manage version. Imagine just all the content for a large organization, how much content you have, a lot. And if you're using all these different platforms, that means you have to manage version across all of that, and that's just going to delay, customers having the right content and all of that. But back to our customer training here. So I'm logged in, slightly different configuration. You can see here, and I can come up here and sign up and purchase training. So let's say I like to go and purchase some paid training. So the e-commerce is built in. We have the ability to connect with any e-commerce provider. Maybe I want to add, this training to to the shopping cart. You can purchase multiple shopping carts, so multiple training, learning path, etc. And you can provide discount codes and all of that. So that's kind of the experience for the customer training. So we just brought everything together in one platform. So a single code platform with LMS compliance training, LXP skills, upskills, as well as corporate-driven career pathing. And the last one, it's customer and employee training. So it's just going to make things a lot more efficient for those of you who are doing these with different platforms, right? So the challenge is usually let me go find a specialist because they have those features and they focus, they can handle that use case better. So we actually have the depth across all of these different use cases, and we brought that into a single platform. So that's kind of what I wanted to cover here for this session. Are there any questions in the chat that we want to answer? Greg or Gordon?
Sorry, I was having a hard time coming off of mute, Ferik.
Yeah.
I've been keeping up with most of the questions in the chat and the QA. There was a couple that I couldn't get to yet. One from Aileen was, can you create a course from scratch on the LMS, meaning you provide images, videos, etc.?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So you can create a course from scratch. Very efficient process to create courses. And we have the ability, one of the beauties of this platform is we're actually tracking everything that really exists in the digital world. So you can bring your SCORM and your videos and your documents and all of that and load them up here. And there's also a dedicated learning content management platform that makes it very efficient for large organizations, that have all of these different use cases to manage and deploy that content across all of these different use cases, right? Content, it's content. Very frequently, we're using the same content or slightly different across all of these different use cases. And we have a built-in LCMS that allows you to manage all of that in a very efficient way. Version control, security. Maybe we don't want to share every piece of content for folks who are, handling the training for customers, but sometimes we do. And when we're deploying a new version, maybe we don't want to deploy to partners yet. So all of that, it's built in the single code, right? So yes, we can do that, and we do it very efficiently.
Okay, great. One of the other questions, Ferik, is, one challenge that we've had in the past with using a single platform is content sprawl. How does ExpertusONE handle content management, deployment updates, version control, reuse, and security when the same material or with slight variations is often across multiple courses in different business units?
Yeah, so that's part of that, right? So I talk about that a little bit, right? So we have a dedicated LCMS that's designed to manage, this specific use case, right? So we have, for example, single object, multiple usage. There's a whole repository in the platform where you load it up and then you can reuse it across different use cases, right? So there's maybe a use case where I want to use a SCORM version for employees, right? But the slightly different version, I can apply that just to partners. So the whole kind of security is built in, the infrastructure. So we're tracking all of that. So a lot of vendors, by the way, they have some component of that, right? Yes, we can do versioning and all that, but it's very cumbersome to deploy it across 4 different use cases. So we have simple workflows to manage all of that content in the same platform and deploy it differently, perhaps across different use cases. So it just makes the whole process of content management a lot more efficiently versus going to separate 3 different platforms or 4 different platforms. So I updated here, but customers, still using the old version of of this product training.
Okay. Great. Thanks, Ferik. One more that just came in. How well can this platform track on the job training for manufacturing companies? Is there easy mobile access for trainers to use to track progress on the floor?
Perfect question. We have strong functionality around that for the employee use case, right? On the job training checklist built into the platform. So, studies out there show that on the job training tends to be a little bit more effective than, kind of self-paced and online, etc. So we have this built into a platform where every type of training that you have in the system, be it e-learning or video or ILT or VILT, can have that OJT component to it, where we say, here, complete this scoring package, this video, go to this class. That's great. You went ahead and complete it. But now we're going to add that OJT component. That, last one more check where a senior, person or a manager is actually going to observe you on the job doing the task. It's one thing to be trained on a topic, and then, very frequently find that it's completely separate thing from actually are you able to apply that on the job. So we have that. We have the ability to create those OJTs, those checklists. Managers can observe their employees, leaders, coaches, etc. Pull that up on their iPad and their phone and just, go through the checklist. Checklist can be any type of form, questions, emojis, thumbs up, thumbs down. You can create like a checklist with 10 questions, 2 questions, 30 questions. So that's kind of the validation, right? The validation component. And it also gives, organizations an opportunity to intervene. Yes, they went through the training. We think that's enough to do to actually do the job. But during the OJT check-in, we found out that they're not able to do the job. So that's an opportunity to intervene. And perhaps we can also automate, kind of remediation options there. If they fail the OJT, we can take them through a different path. So that's built in, very robust functionality to handle OJT training.
Great. Thank you, Ferik. Ferik, can you go ahead and share that last slide as well?
Yeah, let's go to that.
All right. So thanks again, Ferik. So, actually, one more question just came in. If we wanted to create learning paths that contained multiple asset types, but subgroup some together, example, video training, try it videos, testing for multiple topics within the LP, can that be grouped?
Yes. Yes, you can create it's actually very robust functionality around that. So you can have like a single course. I think that's what you're referring to. You can have a single course with different type of content. For example, let's say you got the core of it, it's SCORM, right? But then we want to add maybe a video after that or a PDF before that. So we're able to actually add components to a SCORM course, right? So, you got a SCORM, that's fine. We don't want to edit that. A lot of vendors, they don't really allow you, to kind of incorporate other content that's trackable. It's very important. You can, a lot of vendors support like as a resource. ExpertusONE allows you to add this other type of content, pretty much everything that exists in the digital world, right? So, PDFs and videos and all of that, and you can group them and you can have a whole series of content within the same course. We're talking about same course, right? Same module. So the answer to that is yes, and lots of flexibility on that front.
Thanks, Ferik. Yeah, so it looks like we're coming up right on the end of time here. Emma, I know we got about 30 seconds left. I just wanted to say, we have my contact information up on the screen right now. If there's any other questions that you guys think of, anything that we can do for you, please feel free to contact me at your earliest convenience. I'll respond to you as quickly as humanly possible. But yeah, if anything else comes up, if you have any questions, let me know. I thank everyone for your time today. Emma, I don't know if you want to close things out here.
Yeah, thank you both so much. And thank you to all of our attendees for your great questions and participation in all of the sessions today. So again, I just want to thank our sponsors. We have Adobe, Digital Chalk, ELB Learning, ExpertusONE, and Litmos. All of our sessions today are pre-qualified for a credit hour by SHRM, HRCI, ISPI, and CPTM. Just send us an email at webinars@trainingindustry.com and we'll get those codes over to you. Just a few little plugs for some things we have coming up soon. I would love to see you all in person here in Raleigh, North Carolina for the 2026 Training Industry Conference and Expo. That's TICE. TICE is where learning leaders like you gather to forge new connections and learn from each other. You can address your most pressing learning challenges re-energize your learning initiatives at TICE 2026 this summer. Early bird registration is open through the end of March. And then if you're looking to elevate your L&D career or optimize your organization's learning technology lifecycle or tech stack, you can gain an in-depth understanding of how to select, purchase, implement, maintain, and retire learning technologies with the Managing Learning Technologies Certificate course by Training Industry. And one last reminder, a survey will pop open in your browser when you exit this webinar, and we really appreciate your feedback. Thank you all again for joining us, and thanks again to our sponsors. Until next time, I'm Emma, and I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.